It's been around 3 months since Air India has donned a new avatar. A new livery was then shown, a new brand identity was shown, and a new flight path was taken. But what about the future plans? What's happening here? What's about the coming winter season, the Christmas season? What about airfares? A lot to talk about. And today we are joined by CEO of Air India, Mr. Campbell. Thanks for talking to us. Let's begin by asking you the recent thing when we saw Air India 350, A350, 900 flew in the new livery from Singapore to Toulouse. Now, what about the new planes? When are they coming? December, the first plane are we going to see now?
So presently we've got 3 A350s on the books. They're in the process of having some modifications done to the interior, and we should get the first ones in India before Christmas, and then starting to operate commercial service sometime in January.
So last time we met, definitely you were in a different zone. We were starting a new journey, a new livery, a new brand identity. It's been 3 months. So how have these 3 months been for you so far? Are you on the way to the expected results as far as the change is concerned?
Well, this is part of our broader 5-year transformation journey, Vihan, and that encompasses all parts of the business, a very small part of which is the brand transformation. Obviously, we're very excited with the way that the brand has been received and the excitement that there is. I think as people are seeing the aircraft, they appreciate it more. And so we're just about in the next few weeks to be rolling out this new brand across all of our touchpoints, all airports, all websites, new crew uniforms, obviously the new A350 aircraft. So this next 100 days is going to see the brand come to life, so to speak.
Let's talk about merger now and Air India and Vistara so far. How is the merger process going on? You have got approval from CCI of India. Overall, in jurisdictions other than India, you have to get that also. So where is the merger process going?
So the planning for the merger is well advanced. We've been thinking about it and working on what the merger plan is for many months so far. As you rightly say, we've got competition clearance from CCI. In fact, we've got it from all but one of the countries we need it from, and we expect the final country to come through in the next few weeks. Thereafter, we commence the process of the legal merger, and that requires a few more hurdles to jump through, but we expect that to happen perhaps sometime first quarter of next year. Thereafter, we merge the organizations, but we still have 2 regulated independent airlines. And so over the course of the subsequent 18-24 months, we would be in the process of merging the 2 airlines together. And that process obviously is governed more by operations and safety as anything else. And then we will take a call in due course when we merge the brands. And that we're not rushing into. We'll wait till the point that Air India has elevated itself through fleet upgradation, through product upgradation and other things, so that when the merger happens, it's a merger of equals and ideally create something even better than both of the airlines today. So it's a long journey, but it's a journey that we're well advanced on, and we're very clear about the subsequent steps.
What is your outlook on the long-term overall scope of Indian aviation sector? Well, crude prices is also they're increasing, and they are up and down every time. So what's the outlook of aviation sector for the next calendar year?
I think the longer-term outlook for Indian aviation is very, very bullish. And I think the evidence of our bullishness is the 470 aircraft that we ordered earlier this year. We see massive opportunity in India. It's an underserved market from an Indian carrier serving global destinations perspective. And so we're going to be working very hard to add capacity, add destinations, add frequency. This year alone, over the next 18 months, we'll take about 92 aircraft. Air India Express will take 50 of those. And so there's significant expansion that we're undertaking, and ultimately to serve the customer better.
And very soon the new New Year season, Christmas season will be coming. What are your plans for that?
I mean, it's already upon us. We're 3 weeks until Christmas. So there's not much that will newly be rolled out between now and then. We've obviously put flights in place. Most of the flights are actually already sold. So it's just building up for what is usually a busy travel season.
Okay, and as far as the current scenario in India is concerned, we have seen one airline currently grounded, others are not in, SpiceJet is not in good shape. How do you see this scenario working for you? Indigo is also saying that some aircraft will not be there in Q4. How do you see the scenario working for you? Will it work in your favor?
Well, the evolution of Indian aviation, I think, is following the path that has been observed in other countries around the world over time. That in the earlier days, there are many smaller players, maybe not so well capitalized, and there tends to be a lot of turnover and turmoil in the market. Some airlines come, some airlines go. And what we're seeing now is a rationalization into 2 plus a few more better operated, better capitalized entities that can bring some structure and ultimately profitability to a market that hasn't enjoyed profitability over a long period of time. Once there's a structured, stable market, then that obviously allows expansion, which is good for the consumer, which is good for the employees, which is good for the economy and the nation. And when we've got a profitable, growing industry, then obviously that attracts more players to participate. So I think this is a good period of transition for Indian aviation, and I think it's important that India has a strong aviation industry for all of the reasons that I cited: consumer, employee, economic development, international connectivity.
What is the outlook on airfares for you? Definitely this season is going to be better because of the demand, but what about the medium and long-term outlook on airfares in India?
Airfares are a function of supply and demand. And there's a huge amount of supply coming into the market. Between ourselves and Indigo alone, there's more than 1,000 aircraft on order. So over time, I think history has shown that airfares tend to fall when you take into account inflation. In real terms, airline fares are much lower than in years past. And probably history would continue along that vein. Technical improvements, always improve efficiency. That's why we are pushing the manufacturers always to get more fuel efficient and better technologies. And so I think the longer term trend is that airfares will continue to be affordable, and that's why we can continue to survive.
And what about the new destinations, both in India and overseas? What are the new flights you're planning? If you can tell us something about the regions also which you're planning to fly and connect more and more to. Well,
I think the fact is that India is not as well connected internationally as it should be. And that's in part because Air India itself didn't have the aircraft or the capital, the expansion plan to do so itself. And so plenty of opportunities for us to mount flights to nearly every continent in the world. You've seen over the past 18 months we've put a significant number of new flights into North America, into Europe. There's increasing numbers into East Asia and Australia. And that will be the pattern going forward, that really the expansion plan is broad-based and it will continue to be from cities, not just Delhi. We've put a lot into Mumbai, we've added Bangalore to international capitals, and so that will continue.
Well, you were recently quoted as saying that many airlines are seeking partnership with you. Can you throw some more light on this? New airlines which are seeking partnership with you, and if you're finalizing on more of such partners across the world?
Well, I think people see the growth and opportunity of the Indian market, and they see in Air India a carrier that is transforming and is aspiring and on track to be one of the best and biggest carriers in the world. And so it's just natural that they would want to forge closer relationships. And so we're constantly receiving approaches from people. We're a member of the Star Alliance, and so obviously that's the natural set of partnerships, but it's not just limited to the Star Alliance, and so we continue to have those discussions. And I think it's good for our customers as well, because we can fly to hundreds of cities, but there's still hundreds more that can better be served in partnership with others. And so we continue to pursue those because we think it's good for all parties involved: customer, ourselves, and our partner.
And many times over the last few weeks, we have seen questions being raised on maybe the training problem somewhere. Like yesterday, DGCA slapped some fine for certain delinquencies there. How do you respond to these things? These are things which you will improve over the next few months. How do you respond to these things, especially when it comes to sometimes service problems here and there?
I think all airlines, we have a service standard we aspire to uphold. In some cases, there are also regulatory guidelines on what service standards should be provided. In this case, in the event of a flight disruption. And where we fall short, we certainly look at how we can improve and do better next time. In this particular case, there are things that we can learn about how to handle other flight disruptions, and we'll take them on board and get better.
Two particular countries, Sri Lanka and Thailand, India has now, maybe for a short period, started visa-free services. How do you see these developments good for airline like you when you plan to add more flights to these destinations?
Well, certainly any impediment to travel, whether it's visa or otherwise, is not good for us. And so when it becomes easier for people to travel, we're delighted. And so I think these are good developments. And I think the announcement of additional services particularly into Thailand it wasn't a consequence of these changes, but certainly these changes will benefit the new flights that we're putting in place.
And you said that now in this campus for the first time we have come, it's definitely a very good campus for you. You have did a puja for another building here. So what's the plan for this overall, the campus we are sitting in? What's the long-term view?
Well, Air India Group was spread across all of India. Air India alone had some 63 odd offices around the country. And Air Asia was obviously based in Bangalore, Air India Express based in Kochi. And that resulted in a lot of duplication, a lot of communication challenges, suboptimal deployment of technology and integration cooperation. And so we made the decision to co-locate as much as we could in this campus for many, many reasons. And that process is now well underway. The campus opened for business about September, and we're progressively moving these offices in different airlines under one roof, so to speak. It's also an indication of the quality that Air India wants to have and portray. And I think staff feel that the company is investing in the premises and technology and capabilities that they can now use to do their jobs. So it's just one of the many, many steps that are on our journey to making Air India world-class.
One last question before I let you go. We have heard that Indigo is going to have a full-fledged, not low-cost model anymore. Being a direct competitor, how do you respond to this threat? Is it like a threat at all, or you both plan to serve the whole the high-level market in your own ways?
Well, Air India has always faced competition, and we welcome competition. We've always faced international competition, including by full-service carriers, not just in the countries we fly to, but all the countries in between. And so it's good for the consumer competition. We are putting a lot of investment to improve our product, our fleet, our seats, our in-flight entertainment, our systems, our websites. All of these things are part and parcel of meeting whatever competition throws at us. And I think ultimately everyone is working hard to win the consumer's heart, and hopefully we'll be successful in winning some people towards Air India.
And anything you would like to tell us from your side, how the last 3 months have been in the new journey phase? What are you doing for the consumers, the flyers, so that they have a new experience of Air India?
Well, I think rather than look at the last 3 months, we should be looking at the next 3 months. The next 3 months will see Air India bring the first A350 aircraft into the Indian skies. It will be launching the brand across all of our touch points. It will be revealing a new cabin crew uniform. It will be revealing new in-flight seats, new in-flight entertainment, new in-flight internet connectivity, new meals, new serviceware, new mobile app. I mean, this is really the manifestation of a lot of the hard work that has been put in place over the last 18 months. Much of what we've been doing over 18 months has been building the foundations for growth. Now we're taking a new aircraft every 6 days, and we're going to be launching many of these new products over the coming weeks. And I hope it gives people confidence and heart that the Air India that they have been dreaming for is starting to take wings.
So many things to look forward to, and thank you very much for giving your time, and thank you once again
My
for
pleasure.
joining us.
Thank you.